to talk about the leadership qualities and values of Nelson Mandela. We're now joined by Professor Mazwe Majola, a leadership expert from the Worldwide Institute of Leadership and Development. Professor Mazwe, thank you so much for joining us here on the late edition. Of course, every year on this day, we are always told, to embrace this day and to live up to the values and the legacy of our former president, Nelson Mandela. When you zoom in to the kind of leaders we have in today's society, do you think that they are continuing to carry the legacy of Madiba?
Good evening. No, definitely they are not continuing. I think they have failed Madiba. And the ones who have failed Madiba is his party, ANC, the leadership of ANC. They have sullied his legacy and they have abandoned his values and spirit. I think wherever he is, he should be very, very disappointed with what is happening in the ANC as a party and in South Africa as a country, more especially for a person who gave up his life, his family, his interest, everything for sacrificing for this country. So I think really they have not done good for Madiba's legacy.
And what would you say has contributed, to us finding ourselves here, where you are saying that they have failed Madiba and they have failed his legacy?
During Madiba's time, the politics or political leadership, it was more about servant leadership, and that's what it stood for. That when you are being elected as a political leader, you are elected to serve the people, and it involved sacrifice, self-sacrifice, that you are serving your people, and unfortunately, after that, over time, we have seen the politics of careerism. When people are now entering politics to enrich themselves and to serve themselves instead of serving others. So I think that is where we are now. When some politicians assume positions, it's more about accumulating as much as they can during the term they have, so that they will, and also it's more about ego, it's more about status, about position. Nelson Mandela did not glorify himself, so it was more about other people. So that is what we are seeing nowadays, and then unfortunately we are at a level where we need very, very strong leaders who will be able to turn around things and say, look, as leaders, can we go back to the qualities and values of our forefathers when they led the country and the people with sacrifice and as we're serving other people.
And Professor, you talk a lot about sacrifice, and when you speak to politicians, they would say, even the leaders we have at this moment, they would say that they continue to serve our people. Do you find those principles not there, even though they are saying that they are here for the people? They will continue to serve with humility and will continue to be selfless? Or do you, like you're saying now, that it's more about, what am I getting out of this? And one thing in particular I will point to is the issue of coalitions, because one would say that when you look at the coalition governments we are seeing in our municipalities, it's always about what are the politicians getting out of these coalitions.
It's very disappointing and it's very unfortunate because really when you hear some of these politicians speak, You even think that they are not speaking about themselves when they say our people, we need to go and save our people want this, we need to do this. And I always think that they must be ashamed of themselves, because really they are saying things they know they are not doing. Leadership, it's about modeling, it's about exemplary. You don't just say something, you do something. It's action, so you do it. And that it actually, that quality of humility you're talking about, it's very interesting, because it's one of those leadership qualities that you cannot as an individual talk about yourself about it. You cannot say, I'm a very humble person, but it's a quality that other people must say about you. So when they talking about serving people, other people must be the one who are saying that here is our leader, so and so. He is really the good leader. It's a leader who is serving us, but not themselves talking about serving the people. So they failed to serve people. They failed to be the servants and go there and work and transform communities and societies and being a transformational leader as Madiba did, and being inspirational leaders as Madiba did, and be visionary leaders as Madiba did, and being courageous and compassionate. I talk about this, that Madiba was a lion and the lamb. He was both courageous, he was brave, he had grit and determination, but also he was very compassionate and caring for people's needs. So we are unfortunately bereft of those leaders nowadays.
And, when we take a step back and we look at the leadership we have today, what do you think that Madiba would think of today's leadership which we see in this country?
If he would appear, I think he will definitely cry. He will cry tears that what happened to this country, that we fought, that we sacrificed so much. Why are you doing this? I think he will address them. He will tell them that why are you messing up for something that we worked for so many years? And I think the leaders, especially the ANC leaders, because that is where Madiba comes from. People nowadays, they have mixed feelings about the ANC. They still remember it's the Madiba's party, but with what is happening now, there is that indifference that Madiba would not have done this thing. So the current leaders, they must look at themselves in the mirror and make introspection and say, if Madiba would rise up tomorrow, what would he do about me? And I think they will realize that he will not be happy at all.
And Professor Mazwe, I'm going to try and squeeze this last question in, because unfortunately we are out of time. Of course, we have seen those statues which have been unveiled. A lot of people have criticized them, saying that the money could be used, for other problems we are faced with in this country. What is your opinion when it comes to the statues in which we have seen unveiled today?
No, everything has got its own, this is a package, you cannot, something must be removed and put others. And so the statues are important, are good, because they are there for history, for legacy, generations to come. I just hope that they will take care of them, that they won't be demolished, they won't be vandalized, that in 10 years' time we will still say those are beautiful statues of Madiba. However, it's very important that as we put those statues, we remember about his legacy, about his dreams, about his values, about his aspirations, about his sacrifice. And that is what will assist us as a country.
All right, Professor Mazwe, thank you so much for your time. That is Professor Mazwe Majola, leadership expert from the Worldwide Institute of Leadership and Development.